Welcome to the channel. My name is Michael. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel like you can't get ahead in life and you're just constantly paying off all of your debt, but you can't seem to find ways to save on cash, live on cash while still paying your debt? Well, good thing for you. I'm here to help you out, and we're going to discover together ways that you can save some cash so that you'll be able to have a reoccurring balance moving forward, so everything that you start to purchase will be mainly on cash and not credit cards. Let's dive into the video. One thing for me is to deny myself going out to eat and buying fast food. I really have a hard time with this. I'll be driving down the road and I'll pass by McDonald's, a Burger King, whatever it is, I'll go by and I'm thinking, ooh, maybe just tonight I'll have a meal or for lunch. But I have to keep denying myself, and I tell myself no. I go home, I already have food at my house, I just feel lazy and I want to keep going out to eat. So what did I do? I continue to deny this flesh whatever pleasures that it feels like it wants, because the present me doesn't realize that future me is going to be mad that all my money is gone. If I'm averaging $15 a day for 5 days a week, let's say, just during my work day, that's almost $4,000 a year. So go ahead and take whatever your salary is, okay, that you make annually before taxes, chop $4,000 off of that. That's already how much money you've not made for that year. And that's just one person, $15 a day. If you've got multiple people that you're feeding as well, you've got a huge expense for fast food. I understand that groceries have their own costs, but it's typically going to be way less than whatever it is that you want to buy on fast food. And usually it feels like it's a drug. They've put so many additives, preservatives, and things like that in fast food to keep you addicted. Extra sugar that just keeps you wanting to come back for more. So one thing that you can do is to start denying yourself and start to save that cash instead. Sock away the cash into your bank account. If you felt like spending $15, just take $15, throw it into your savings account. You wanted to spend that anyway, but learn to save. Take that $15, set it aside. If you start doing that and you just continue on that path, you will start to see that all that money will start to build up and give you some sort of a nest egg. And so one thing that I've also found is the apps for fast food. I've got Domino's, you've got Uber Eats, you've got DoorDash, all these things. McDonald's even has an app. All these things have different apps to keep you coming back for more. Free food, discounts when next time you come in, X amount of dollars off. Problem is that for delivery fees, yes, if you're going to go ahead and go to, let's say, McDonald's and they're going to give you a free quarter pounder with your meal, if you're going there anyway, that could be a benefit. You get free food, but you use the app when you're there. Things like DoorDash, I found that I'm spending way too much money and I had to cancel the apps. I just outright deleted them because the amount of money that they charge for that food is higher because you're ordering it remotely. Then you've got a service fee, a delivery fee, a tax, then you have to give a tip. So your $20 meal is now $50 for one person's $20 meal. That's just way too expensive, way too much money, and it's all because I was lazy. I'm not saying people who are making this choice are lazy. Some people maybe can't travel, some people may be sick and they have to do it at those particular times. But I'm just saying, in general, those are very expensive ways that you can be wasting your cash, wasting your money, making these other franchisees a ton of money, making DoorDash and Uber Eats a ton of money with all these excess fees. Why? Because we just don't want to go downstairs and cook. And that's just going to end up costing you in the long run. If you're trying to save cash, you want to put money aside for a house one day, going out to eat constantly is not the right deal. It's not the right thing to be doing if you're trying to save your money. The next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start paying all your minimums on the credit cards. Whatever credit cards that you have, pay the minimums. Yes, the debt's going to be there. You'll be able to pay it later. But by paying the minimums only temporarily, it's going to allow you to pocket all the extra cash that you were going to put onto those credit cards. You put that money aside, you start saving it up. Instead of $100 that you normally pay to your credit card, if only $35 is due, just take the extra $65, put that in your checking account or your savings account and start holding on to cash. You're going to need an emergency fund. If things happen, who are you going to rely on? Are you going to rely on credit cards, which is borrowing? Are you going to rely on family members, which they have their own debts and things that they've got to deal with? You have to start thinking about, I have to rely on myself. It's up to me to get me out of this mess. It is up to me to move forward. I can't rely on anybody else. Who's coming to save me? We have to learn to save ourselves from whatever mess that we created. Yes, we got ourselves into this mess. $32,000 in credit card debt that I ran into, that was on me. So it's on me, coming upon me to go ahead and get myself out of that. So paying minimums onto your credit cards, put all that cash into your account, and you will start to see all this money is going to start growing in your checking and savings account by doing so. You're going to need 3 to 6 months of emergency funds so that if something really does happen, a water heater goes out, if you're renting, if something happens with your car, if something happens medically and you need to go ahead and pay a medical bill, all these things, you can't just rely on someone else will take care of it for me. So I'm going to be reckless in all my spending because somebody else will get me, right? I mean, I can rely on other family members. It's on you to go ahead and take care of yourself, to be responsible, to start saving your own cash. Save your 3 to 6 months of an emergency fund because it is on you to get yourself out of this. And since I was able to do it, I'm nobody special. You can do it too. All you have to do is stay focused and start saving your cash. Now, there's another thing that's causing a lot of people to lose money. Subscriptions. There's so many subscriptions to Disney, Hulu, Netflix. Now you've got, like, if I want to do AutoCAD drafting, I got a subscription to that. I got Adobe subscription. You've got things for editing software. You've got a subscription to. You want to do thumbnails and things for YouTube. You got a subscription to that as well. Some things can be free, yes, but a lot of these things, they just charge you subscriptions. And what do you know? All this adds up. Now, things that might be for business, let's say it's for YouTube and you've got editing software and you've got subscriptions for, let's say, Canva or different things that actually can benefit you, that's a way to potentially make money out of it, okay? That's one thing compared to all these different streaming services that all add up money. You might think it's only $10. Well, if you've got 10 of them, you're already spending, way too much money per year on streaming services. They're all adding up. They're all taking away money. And I've heard some say before on some channels, what you can go ahead and do is find out what show that you really want to watch. Let's say it's a new show out right now that you really got to watch that show. Sign up for the subscription, watch that show, get those episodes out of it, then cancel that subscription. The next type of show that you might want on a different streaming service, go ahead and activate that streaming service. Watch that show that you want, deactivate the service when you're done. That way you're only spending, let's say, $10 and you got to watch the entire season of whatever it was, plus whatever, potentially during that month also. So what you can do is only subscribe to the things that you want to watch now. If you just sit on something and you're just not even really watching all the rest of the services and you're only enjoying one show, why pay for the rest of them? Save your cash, pocket your money, and only use it for when you need it. And the benefit is, I'm on YouTube. There's so much free content on YouTube and other free services that you can entertain yourself with, or even go outside, enjoy the outdoors with family, do things with family rather than constantly spending money on streaming services that are just sitting around and sucking all the life and money from your bank account. It's not worth it, and we don't really need so much entertainment that if you're only going to be watching, one specific series that you're interested in, and that's the only one you've been focusing on, all the rest of the stuff for that month that you weren't watching, all those streaming services just wasted your money. I would say just go ahead and get rid of those for the time being and only sign up reoccurring whenever you end up needing something. That's the best thing that I would say to do to help save on streaming services that are just wasting away our cash. There's another trick that I had found by saving cash. I had 2 Bank of America credit cards, one with about 29% interest rate and another one with about 22% interest rate. What I had to do was, when I was paying down that $32,000 in credit card debt, I realized I can't just do the debt consolidation. It was still going to ruin my credit and I was going to have a big bill with them. So I tried to figure out, if they can negotiate with the banks and creditors to go ahead and get a lower, amount. Why can't I? So I called Bank of America and I asked them, is there any way that I can go ahead and get this debt paid off with a lower payment? Because this is just way too high and it'll take me forever to pay this off. It was close to 10 grand total for both. Bank of America told me, if you can stop charging onto your credit card, just outright, no more charges onto the credit card as long as you're going to owe us money, no more charging. If you do that, we'll go ahead and lower your interest rate. One dropped to 2.91%, the other one dropped to 6 point something percent. The thing is I was able to pay that debt off quick. I was able to save in pocket cash because I was, negotiating with them. I was able to be disciplined. I never charged anything else and just totally paid off all that debt. The thing is you might think that you can't, but all you have to do is call and negotiate with these creditors. Some of them you might owe, let's say, $1,500 on a credit card. You might be able to call and say, I'm trying to get all my debt under control. I'm trying to get this all, paid off. Is there anything that you can do to help me out? Perhaps they can drop it down to $1,200. Maybe they'll say, if you pay us $1,200 today, we'll forgive you of the $1,500. There's plenty of different things that you can do. When you call, when I spoke to Bank of America, do not just call and speak to just any old person in customer service, because more than likely they will not be able to help you out. You have to then, once they tell you no, ask for a manager. The manager or supervisor has way more ways and things that they can do in order to assist you in making the payments more affordable to you, or interest rates more beneficial in your favor. There's different things that you can do, and I would highly recommend you attempt that as well, because all that extra cash that I was able to save went into a checking account, went into my savings account, and I was able to start saving and holding on to cash so that any future purchases were just with all the cash that I had been saving. Whatever cash that you save, if you don't have the money in that cash to be able to afford what you want to buy, then you can't afford it. I don't care that I have these credit cards that I can just charge and borrow money from Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and Discover, and so forth. If I don't have the cash, I should not be spending the money. So all the cash that I was able to save, whatever I wanted to buy, video games or whatever it was, if I had the cash, I can afford it. Then by having the cash, I can think, if I'm about to buy this $1,000, item, is it worth it when I've only got $4,000 in my account? You're going to be able to understand more about money by having cash and realizing, wow, this is leaving my pocket fast. And you'll start to understand, I can't just keep spending. I got to be more under control for myself. I need to have better self-control to be able to say no. I need to be able to stop myself and have more discipline on the things that I do. But I highly recommend contacting your creditors and seeing if you can get a lower APR, some type of a lower agreement with them on how much you owe, and negotiate with these creditors and ask if you can pay them off with a smaller amount and see what they do. The least that the least that they can do is to say no, but you've tried, right? Half an hour of your time might save you hundreds of dollars or nothing. But now you've tried, now you know, and in the future, a year later, revisit it and ask them once again. There might be a new supervisor and they might be able to help you. Now, the last thing that I have also found personally for myself is I am with Spectrum. What I was able to end up doing with Spectrum was I was able to negotiate, instead of this high price for my internet and this higher price for my phone by over double, I called Spectrum and guess what? First person I talked to said, we can't really help you. That price is the price. I asked them, well, you're offering $35 for brand new customers, right? Well, I've been a customer for years. Why can't you just offer that price to me? And they said, well, unfortunately, you're no longer new. I said, well, if you want to keep my business as someone who's sticking around and supporting you all this time, shouldn't you give me the offers as well? Help benefit me and say, hey, we want you to stay around for many years to come. Nope. So what I did, ask for the supervisor. Supervisor comes on, oh, yes. Michael, we'll go ahead and we'll lower it to the $35 because that makes complete sense. Why have you switch to Verizon and pay them $35 and then switch back to us later when that promotion ends and then we charge you $35? We'll just keep you for the $35. Made sense. Then he turns around and says, by the way, your internet's kind of expensive. We're going to lower that too. So by doing so, I was able to save extra cash. It all adds up. contacting all these different things, try and work in your own life. Find different ways that you might be able to save cash in different types of an area. You know, with me it was Spectrum, then with Allstate for my insurance. For different types of things, contact them, see what you can negotiate. It doesn't hurt to negotiate, right? It's all free. You just call, you find out, and you never know. You might be saving yourself, like me, about $50 a month for the phone and internet service that I otherwise wouldn't have gotten if I just didn't constantly push forward, look for the supervisor to be able to assist you, and in the end, it benefits me. That $600 a year that I get to keep as cash in my pocket to save, invest, put towards, whatever it is that I need to purchase. There's different things that you can do, and if there's ways that you have that you might think that can benefit others that I haven't even brought up, please go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from them. I think anybody who would be reading them would be able to benefit as well, and might spark, interest with them to be able to help in their own lives. This channel is all about let's help one another, so go ahead and leave comments that we can help benefit and grow and assist other people. Once again, my name is Michael. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.